What up, what up, what up, everybody? Welcome to the Opps SportsCast, another edition here in 2026, a new year. We got the whole crew with us. We got a big show for you today. We're going to be talking everything from NFL playoffs that went down last week, a couple surprises, and some surprise head coach firings as well, or should I say, head coach stepping down. And we're going to be getting into a couple different things here, too. We're going to be talking a little bit about the brokenness of the college football system. We're going to be talking a little bit of baseball and whether or not the offseason needs some rules to it as we're getting into the doldrums of the offseason here. Plus, we got a lot more to talk about with the fellas today, and we got the whole crew. The starting lineup is all in the building. And to my left, we have,
Josh from East Side.
and immediately below,
It's your boy Big Z.
and last but certainly not least,
Welcome, everybody. It's Dave in the cut.
the man, the myth, the legend in the building.
In the
All right, fellas. We all made our predictions on the NFL playoffs, and yeah, I mean, we had some that was right for sure. We had some that was wrong too. But let's get into, I think, the regionally appropriate game first. Yes, let's get into the regionally appropriate game first.
Whose region? Your region? Let's talk about the Panthers.
Nah, the Packers. Packers ain't in
I
my
said the
region, bro.
Panthers, dude. I know
Oh,
where
the
you live.
Panthers. Oh, okay. Nah. We're gonna talk about the Bills. We're gonna talk about Superman doing Superman things, man. Um, I called the Bills. I thought they would win. I think who here picked the Jaguars here? Mm,
And you know what? I'll do it again. They were an epic meltdown away from making me look like a genius. They should have won that game. That 11-yard tush push, where I thought it was illegal to pick a man up off the ground and carry him forward like that. I don't know, but whatever. I'm not mad about my prediction. They didn't get blown out. They played a great game. So yeah, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. You
you
should
know,
know
I'm
all
not.
about that, Peasy.
Yeah, that's true. I'm not sure about that whole picking up and carrying a man rule, but I do know that the Buffalo Bills were one of the teams that voted against the tush push, and I think they used it successfully like four times last week in the playoffs, which is just that's incredible. The fact that they were
Wait,
able to
wait.
pull that
So
off.
they voted against it, right? And it still got implemented, right? Which makes it a rule that they can use, right?
For sure, they can
So
use it.
what's the problem? Because they
It's
won.
it's it's not a problem, Dave. It's ironic, and we just like to point out irony here.
I got you.
And so, because to me, the reason why it's ironic is like if anyone would not want to vote against it, it'd probably be the Buffalo Bills because who's better equipped to run that exact play
Right.
than with that quarterback? I mean, all respect to to Jalen Hurts, but why not Josh Allen? If Jalen Hurts can do it, why Josh Allen can't do that exact same thing? And so it's just to me, it's kind of ironic. Um, What did you guys think of the aftermath of that game with the reporter who gave compliments to the head coach of the Jaguars, who had an amazing season for sure by Jacksonville standards, Liam Cohen, catching some heat for actually throwing out compliments? Anybody want to go there?
Nobody want to say anything. Come on, Zeke. Let's hear it.
Um, Listen, I think it's all a matter of perspective. Like the pushback that I saw came from people who are in that room, the journalists and the media types. The support that I saw were from people like you and I who are fans and um appreciate the contrast of the normal toxic environment where you either ask dumb questions like, "Hey, how do you feel?" We all know how he feels. He's gutted. He thought he had that game won until he didn't. um, or just like the negative. Like if she had got up there and said, "Hey, you suck. You probably shouldn't be coaching this team anymore. We knew it from the moment you said Duval the way you did that you would let us down." Then she probably would have gotten a different result, a different reaction. But I mean, I can appreciate somebody going there and say, "Hey, look, you didn't win today, but you won a division. Nobody expected you to do anything." If y'all remember, they drafted Travis Hunter second overall. You don't draft second overall if you're a good team. So they went from second overall pick to the playoffs without Travis Hunter. He missed most of the year. So for him to come in and do what he did with that team, heck yeah, he deserved a little bit of, hey, look at the big picture. It sucks now. I know you wanted to go forward, but keep your head up. You got a lot to build on. And I mean, she just gave that old school auntie feel. Like before I even saw a picture or heard a name, I kind of had a image in my mind of who this woman was and the kind of vibe that she was giving off. So props to her for doing that in a room where she probably knew she was gonna get some pushback. Because I don't understand this whole deadline thing. Like they don't have to go in and like run back to the office and type everything up on the paper and print it in. Dude, just sit there and type and push send like we all do from home. I don't understand the whole, oh, we got a deadline. She took 30 seconds, if that, to give this man a little bit of love. I don't see what the big deal was.
That's a really good point, Zeke. And I might add Travis Hunter, who was injured, and they actually traded up to get that second pick. And so they gave up a boatload just to get Travis Hunter at that. They gave up their first round pick. They were actually the fifth pick in last year's draft. And they gave that up to move up, as well as packaging their second round pick, their fourth round pick, and their first round pick from this year's draft to the Cleveland Browns. And so like, yeah, and
Where
now
draft
he's
picks go
injured.
to die.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at that, he was supposed to be an impact player on offense and defense, and they got neither. And he still improved that team by leaps and bounds. I think many people had them probably finishing third, and they darn near competed for the number one seed in the entire conference, which was impressive. So kudos to Liam Cohen. Anyone else want to chime in on that, or should we go to the next game?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Dave, you made me talk. You ain't got nothing to say? That's messed up.
Nah, man. I mean, the whole get off my lawn. We have to be negative all the time, and you're not a real journalist unless you're criticizing somebody or yelling at somebody. That's just nonsense to me, man. It's like it's not even this clown Mark Long, I think his name is. You know, I mean, what? I mean, who died and made him the head reporter for everybody? You know what I'm saying? It's like that woman has a voice. She is her own person. Let her say what she wants to say. He doesn't lord over her or what she can say. He doesn't make the rules about what journalists or reporters can say, what the criteria is to be a reporter. It's not in his. That's not in his lap. So, he anybody talking about that she was acting like a fan. This guy he's new. He did a heck of a job, and he deserved praise. I mean, it's just that simple. If they want to tear him down because he came in there and took this team from a losing team to the playoffs, and they had a tough task. And Zeke, you're right. They should have won that game, but this is much to do about nothing. It's a nothing burger.
Nothing burger. There we go.
All right, let's close out our AFC talk because I don't really think I feel like getting into the Patriots and Chargers. It was kind of a boring game. I don't think there was too much there. Let's talk the Texans and the Steelers a little bit because of the fallout that took place as a result of that, and the fact that that was also probably it was a boring to tears game that all of a sudden miraculously became a blowout, like right at the end when the Texans defense single-handedly beat the Pittsburgh Steelers in the playoffs. They did not need CJ Stroud to take the field, probably at all. They probably would have won by more had he not taken the field at all, which is just impressive. And I might add, I actually picked the Texans at the beginning of the year to win the division, although they didn't, just because I thought that defense was probably the second coming of, or at least maybe baby Ravens, 2000 Ravens defense. They are legit. But what does it say? Because we said last week, and I think I said it on the platform where I was talking about Steelers lose this game. This might be it for Tomlin, and he steps down. What stood out to you at that game? Were you expecting Tomlin to step down? Do you think we've seen the last of Aaron Rodgers? Josh.
Um, do I think we've seen the last of Aaron Rodgers? Yes. I think that this was that last hoorah for him. We might have lost Dave Jones, or he's fixing something up. But
I'm here.
all right, I think we have seen the last of him. He's if anything, he's gonna be there to bring up whoever they bring in the QB position in the room, help build somebody up. But I doubt that because if I know anything about Aaron Rodgers, he's the type of person, and he said it in previous discussions with media that when he finally goes, he just wants to basically ride off into the sunset and fall off the grid. So he's probably not going to ride the bench and help any team out to for that matter. He's going to do exactly what he said he's going to do. The whole Tomlin stepping down thing, I don't know. I guess it's one of those things. I won't believe it till I see it. The Steelers still own the rights to Tomlin because he personally stepped down. He was not let go. The GM was actually talking about it today, I want to say, in a press conference. And he said, like, Tomlin came in, walked in, and stepped down. And it was out of his own doing. And he was like, I was expecting the discussions to go like, all right, what are we doing next year? How do we want to, manage? What is our outlook looking like? So it sounded like from the GM's perspective, right? Of course, today that they weren't talking about getting rid of Tomlin, and this was all on Tomlin's own doing. And then another crazy stat I saw: the Steelers they've only had like 3 head coaches since 1968 or some crazy number. I'm
Yeah,
like, whoa, that's wild. Um,
Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher, Mike Tomlin.
yeah, so um, it just sounds like it's the MO of the Steelers organization to not just run through coaches, right? And to give them what they need to be successful. So um yeah, I won't believe it till I see it. So yeah, it kind of I guess it caught me a little bit by surprise because it didn't come from the organization. It came from Tomlin's own mouth and own choice.
Dave.
Um, so him stepping down kind of throws a monkey wrench in the plans for a lot of people because the Steelers still have rights to him. So anybody who would want him would have to quote unquote trade for him, I guess, which is kind of crazy. If that were not the case, he's already said that he's not going to coach next year. So I'm assuming he's going to go into a media role of some type. He's going to kind of just watch the landscape of what happens with, these openings in these teams. I think he has his eye on a specific team or two. And I've been saying for years that if Mike Tomlin got fired, he'd be unemployed for 5 minutes. And I still believe that because you can't tell me that there isn't an organization out there that doesn't want a coach that has never finished below 500.
Mhm.
Sure, he's won the Super Bowl one time. His playoff record isn't great, but he doesn't lose. And if they were so terrible, why was the stadium always sold out. The fans didn't stop coming, but they also didn't stop complaining. I've never seen a fan base so resigned to be miserable over having a winning record. Now, again, I understand they want to get over the hump. I get that. But they are so accustomed to having a coach navigate, not really having the greatest quarterbacks. He's always had elite receivers. You know what I'm saying? But I just can't understand a fan base that is just like they live to complain about their coach and they have no idea what a bad coach looks like. Josh, you just said it. They've had three coaches since the 60s. I don't know what more this fan base wants, but I know what they're about to get because I don't think it's going to be the bed of roses that they think it is. Mike Tomlin brought an attitude to that team, to that defense, and I don't think it's going to be replaced. I really don't. Good luck to Steeler Nation finding a coach that's going to bring that type of swagger and that type of energy, not only to that stadium, but to that team. And so I'm happy for Mike Tomlin that he walked away because I can't think of another coach who was more unappreciated in the NFL than Mike Tomlin.
Well, I mean, if Tomlin doesn't coach this year, maybe he's part of the next coaching cycle, which could end up being our Indianapolis Colts, depending on how we finish this next year. Which I'd be more than happy to get Tomlin on the Colts. Um,
It didn't sound like
but
that in the fantasy chat, though, Peasy.
that's because you did not understand a word I said. Apparently.
I don't think you was
Um,
understanding what I said. I wasn't looking for
oh,
him
and we're
this
not
year.
gonna rehash that here, bro. You were like
Yeah.
timeout.
No, if
Anyways,
you go back and read it, I was not like parading for him for this year. What I was saying was Mike Tomlin is a great coach, and the Colts fans would love to have him. And
me
if
included. I was
huh
saying that.
huh
Me included. That's what I was
yeah, no,
saying.
I'm telling you right now. I'm the reason I'm so upset, and I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I think if the job that Tomlin is eyeballing was available, which tells you it's none of the nine that are out there right now, I think that he would have been gunning for one of those positions. So it leads me to believe that he may think that either Sean McDermott's going to get fired or the Philadelphia or Nick Sirianni is going to get fired because I really think that I think Tomlin. Listen, man, you don't think your coach would hire Mike Tomlin? You don't think your owner would hire Mike Tomlin?
Who the Eagles were talking?
Yeah.
Not right now. No.
No, I'm talking about if Sirianni was gone.
If Sirianni was gone, I guess I don't know. I'm
If
not
they end up firing Sirianni after he won a Super Bowl and what he went to the Super Bowl twice already,
been to the
Hey, what
playoffs
have you
every
done
year.
for
That
me
he was
lately?
coach.
This is the
bro.
NFL,
If
man.
they end up firing Nick Sirianni, if I was Tomlin, I would not want to go to the
So
Eagles.
let me rephrase because what I heard Dave say was this: if Sirianni were to be let go,
Right.
you're saying that your Eagles organization would not hire Mike Tomlin as a head coach, and I'm saying absolutely Mike Tomlin is a sought after coach. If that's what you're asking, 100%, he's a sought after guy. I would say that he would any organization would be lucky to have the guy based off of his track record. So the answer to your question is yes. The likelihood is
Of course.
no.
Of course.
Yeah.
Now I could see Tomlin in somewhere like Buffalo, and I could definitely see him in Indy.
You know, you jumped ahead of me. I was going to say I definitely think Tomlin has a shot to go to Buffalo. A lot of people are talking that if McDermott can't figure out a way to beat Bo Nix and the Bengals,
Yep.
I mean, what are you
Bengals
going to
and
do at this
Broncos.
point? You can't
Broncos,
beat,
man.
or excuse me, in the Broncos. I misspoke.
Yeah. That's
If
good.
you can't figure out a way to get past Bo Nix, I don't know. I don't know where you go from here. I don't know what you do from here. Like
Yeah, you
it's
can't
like,
blame
bro,
Patrick Mahomes this year.
yeah, you can't blame Patrick Mahomes. You have the superior quarterback, and you have the experience. Like Bo Nix has never played in the playoffs before, to my knowledge, right? They didn't make the playoffs last year, did they? I don't think they
I
did.
don't know.
You lose to a kid in his first game in the playoffs. No, no.
No,
You
I
at
mean,
that point, if they decide to let him go, that is probably where Harbaugh or Tomlin would go. Although crazy as it sounds, if I was coaching, I think the number one destination is the Pittsburgh Steelers only for this reason. That's job security, bro. I know if I get that job, that's 20 years. That's where I'm going. Forget about who's on the team. I want a job for a long time. I'm going to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't care about who anybody else personally.
It
But
would be your luck that you get there and they change their philosophy.
that's right.
3 years
We're
of
gonna make an
mediocrity
exception for
gone.
you. But yeah, I think he would be great on. I think Harbaugh or Tomlin would be great on the Bills. I think that if the Bills lose this week, personally, this is my take. I think they would actually be wise to move on from McDermott because you got a shot to get Tomlin and Harbaugh in this coaching cycle, and I think you got to take your shot,
What would you give up for Mike Tomlin?
whatever they want.
what? So you're saying get rid of Josh
Deion
Allen,
Coleman.
Cook?
No, 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 no. Come on, no, they're not gonna. That would be unserious ask. Sure, give me Josh Allen. That's ridiculous. Like,
Yeah, that's dumb.
That's
that
what
that's
They were
give
talking
me
about the
whatever.
Raiders.
some.
Somebody floated the idea about giving the would the Raiders give up the number one pick to get Mike Tomlin. I was like, that's just dumb. It's just
I don't
stupid.
know. Would you call that dumb? Hear me out. Like the Raiders organization, they need more than just a number one pick to put themselves in a good position for a playoff run, right? They need more than that.
I would agree, but that number one pick is Mendoza.
But I hear you on that. But here's the thing: the Raiders are not going to get the number one pick.
They are. What do you mean?
They already got
They
it.
They
got the
already
number
got
one
it.
pick.
They sealed it. The Giants. What did the
Yeah.
Giants
My
do?
bad. It's news to me today. Then I just
Oh,
learned.
all right. There you go.
So,
Yeah, the
so
Raiders got the number one pick, bro.
Raiders got
But
number one.
real talk, like if any team can go from like a worse to playoffs, it's the Vegas Raiders, bro. They
What?
they abs bro, every year in the NFL, every year you have a team go from like worse to almost first, or at least worse to playoffs every year, right? Why not the Raiders? If you got Mendoza, you got the young star tight end Bowers, you got the young star running back Genty, and if
Mhm.
you could get some defense to shore it up and a coach that can put those players in the right position, why can't they make the playoffs next year? I know that
Oh,
sounds crazy,
Their
but
division,
it's not to me. I've seen crazier in the NFL.
their
and,
division.
and let's not forget they have the ultimate wild card sitting in the owner's booth.
There
Because
it
if Philip
is.
Rivers and Aaron Rodgers can play ball, why can't Tom Brady?
Yep. So I'm gonna tell you something.
Nah,
Tom Brady is
coach him
gonna get
up.
his listen. Tom Brady is gonna get his hands on Mendoza, man. And this, I'm gonna tell you, the kid is already wise beyond his years, man. It's like you put him with somebody like Brady. I mean, Brady taught Shador Sanders a lot of stuff except for how to get rid of the ball. I mean, he won't. Obviously, he doesn't have a line to protect him, but Shador learned a lot from Brady. And what do you think? What do you think Mendoza's gonna learn with Brady in his face all the time? That's gonna be a problem, man. It really is. I don't
I
think
think
I think people are underselling that.
I think the problem for the Raiders is going to be finding the right head coach in this coaching cycle because there's so many better jobs than the Raiders head coaching job right
I
now.
would agree. I
They
would
are
agree.
not high in the pecking order, and based on their history, where they fire five coaches after a single season, you're not serious if that is your first choice. If you're taking multiple interviews, that's not your first choice. It's
Bro,
just not.
I'm still baffled by the way you guys are saying like the Raiders are just a small leap away from playoff contention. They're not, bro. Like they got the Broncos, the Chargers, and the Chiefs in their division. Like you're telling me that that the Chiefs are automatically going to be the slump of 10 years to come, and the Broncos are going to go from a great year this year to a horrible trash team again, and then the Chargers are not going to make the.
The
I'm confused.
the
Like
big problem with the Chiefs. So let me tackle the Chiefs real quick. I don't know if anybody's been paying attention, but the injury bug has been catching up to the Chiefs, man. And then sooner
The
or
age
later
too.
it was gonna happen. And this stuff is gonna be reoccurring. It happened with the 49ers. Like the 49ers a couple years ago, cats started getting hurt, man, and it was just like, okay, this person got hurt, whatever. But then it started to go over to the from the offense to the defense. It started rolling, man. Like
did it this year too.
dudes were getting hurt. If you look at the Chiefs, dudes are starting to get hurt a lot over there, man. Not only them getting hurt, people not afraid of them anymore. And then you whether you want to discount Travis Kelsey, his value, the whole backyard pitch and catch stuff with him and Mahomes, who is Mahomes going to get to replace him? That's a lot of their offense went through that. But you even saw that aging. You even saw that get off because Kelsey was aging. You know, his mind wasn't really on the. It didn't seem like his mind was on the game. He wasn't really engaged on the field. He was getting frustrated a lot. You got Rashee Rice out here, uh, doing all kind of juvenile stuff and getting in trouble with the law. Now he's got a domestic assault thing going on now that just came out of the blue. That's going to be a problem. Do they hold on to him? Pacheco missed like 6 games this year. You know what I'm saying? His backup is Kareem Hunt. Like, where did they go from there? Like, they're injury prone. I feel like they're gonna take some steps back, and I do feel like the Raiders could sneak in there if they play their cards right. If the ownership group can do the right thing, and they can keep
Strong,
Max Crosby happy.
strong
It's a
if,
long shot, Josh. It's a long
strong
shot,
if,
but they got to get the right coach.
but you have yet to tell me that that's possible. And the reason that I'm literally not seeing that be possible, I don't care. I don't care how they fall off and the injury bug and players leave and Mahomes isn't the same as he was. It's still Andy Reid and Spags in the front office. Like
Okay, but who's throwing the
But
ball
your
next
team
year?
spanked them.
Last
these
time
are
we saw
Your team
Mahomes,
yes,
he was getting
spanked
carted
Andy
off.
Reid
yes,
and
they did.
Spags.
Yes, they did 100%. That's a whole nother story for a whole nother topic in discussion one day. I'm still talking about even this year what what Andy Reid and Spags were able to do with an aging Travis Kelsey and no Rashee Rice for the first of the year, and everybody was still talking. I'm not losing faith in Patrick
So,
Mahomes.
Patrick
I'm not
Mahomes.
so we
out
did.
on Patrick Mahomes. I'm not gonna say that Patrick Mahomes. I'm not gonna bet against him, right? Everyone's saying all this stuff.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes isn't playing for a good chunk of this year. This is the year for anybody to pounce in that division.
I'm hearing you, but you're still not talking to me about the Chargers and the Broncos. That's what I'm saying.
Let me just say this about the Chiefs too,
Uh,
Josh. Let me just say this about the Chiefs. It may not have looked like it, but for those who know the game, the Chiefs, even though they won all those games last season, not this one that just ended, the season before, the reason everybody was so mad with the Chiefs dynasty is why they were complaining about the refs. Why is because they won all the close games. That doesn't stand up year after year. If you won all those one possession, 1 point games, the law of
consistently
averages
losing.
usually plays out, and the next year you're going to lose your fair share of those games. They had games that first game of the last season where they should have lost the first game of the year to the Baltimore Ravens when Isaiah Likely tiptoed out of bounds for the game-winning touchdown, and he was just that's a game they should have lost. But there was like 5 or 6 or 7 of those that past season when they finished with the number one seed. That for people that were observing, they were there like the record looks great, but the on-field product does not. They don't look like the normal dominant Chiefs. And then that came to light this year when all those coin flip catches, lucky bounces, lucky calls did not go in their favor.
But Birdo literally is the only one I feel like that heard me just now. I like thank you, Birdo. We're still talking about Andy Reid. Are you telling me? Because what you guys are telling me is Tomlin could go into the Raiders and then get them from a horrible team to a playoff contending team. We're talking about Andy Reid here. Who's better, Andy Reid or Mike Tomlin? Who would you
It
rather
just
have?
sounds cheap coming from an Eagles fan. Let's get into the Eagles
Oh,
talk
yeah, go
about
ahead.
how much. Let's get ahead and
Let's get it.
let's we call this a segue, children,
I got
about how terrible of a fan base, because we've been saying this on the podcast for a while. How terrible of a fan base the Philadelphia Eagles fan base is.
Josh, I
Okay,
hear you, bro. I hear what you're saying, though.
no,
appreciate it.
we're not letting Josh off the hook.
Appreciate it.
Because, excuse me, can anyone tell me who was Andy Reid's this great coach that Lucito's in the chat saying, "Shoot, I'll be the quarterback." It's Andy Reid. Who did he get fired from before landing on the Chiefs?
The Eagles.
Oh, that would be the Philadelphia Eagles
And you're telling me
firing Andy Reid.
and you're telling me this means what?
It just means that they're never satisfied. They're they're a terrible fan base. You didn't upload the video, did you? Them
How
throwing
long was Andy
snowballs
Reid
at
the coach
49ers
for?
fans during the game. Throwing snowballs at 49ers fans during the game. And then on top of that, they were throwing, what is it? Loaded Coke cans at 49ers fans exiting the game. Like, bro, if you got children, do not bring your kids to watch a Philadelphia Eagles game. Just don't do it. Don't do it.
Unless you're wearing
Value
Andy
your
Reid
life.
gear. Like what? You're wearing
Value your life.
you're
No,
just
not
And
even
it's
if you're
not.
wearing Eagles gear, because they're going to be influenced by all the debauchery and
you're fine.
shenanigans and
Fine.
the hooligans.
Right.
Tell that to Dominic.
Right.
Tell that to
And
Dominic
if you're an Eagles fan,
and
my
Matt
goodness,
in Savannah.
y'all need to do some prayers. Y'all need to do something, because it's like, what has made your soul so dark if you're an Eagles fan? I
So
don't get you
You have to
guys.
live in Philadelphia, first
yeah,
of
let
all.
me go back.
That makes a ton of sense. When I went to Philadelphia, I had to walk on top of trash just to cross to the next street, just because it
Bruh,
is that filthy
time
there.
out now, time out, time out. You are also from New York City, so don't go there with the stepping on the
Wow,
trash
Yeah,
talk.
that's
Bruh,
facts. And you know what? Philly is worse.
bruh.
It's
Okay.
worse.
So we're gonna go back to your comment about Andy Reid and like, oh my God, you guys aren't ever happy. Let me give you some facts here. Andy Reid was the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles for 14 seasons,
How many
including
chips? How many chips there?
Super Bowl 34, 39, before being fired after the 2012 season. So Andy's Reid's success with the Eagles organization was good, right? And on top of all that, he literally was a sought after coach when he was released, which is why he landed with the Chiefs and why he's turned that team into a winning organization all over again. The point of the matter is this: Eagles fans, just like every other fans across all the NFL teams, all of the platforms, all of the sports organizations, what do they care about most? Thank you. I've
rings,
already
Throwing
said it. They
batteries,
care about
throwing
rings.
batteries
They
at the
care
players.
about chips. And
throwing ice balls at Santa Claus.
what is it that Andy Reid could not do? And what is it that Tomlin has not done since that one ring?
Okay, is
Is
it Andy Reid's fault that instead of throwing touchdowns, Donovan McNabb was on the sideline throwing up? Like, that's not his fault. He got them to the game, and his player, his the leader of his team, choked.
okay,
You
so
had Terrell Lawrence out there on a broken leg trying to carry the team on his back like Greg Jennings in that Madden video.
so what you guys are saying is this: it doesn't matter how good or bad you are at coaching. All we want are championships, and if you cannot give that, we got to start looking elsewhere at some point. That's what you're telling me?
That's not what I said.
It
I said
sounds like
he
what
got
you
them there.
said.
I said he got them there, and the leader of his team choked. That's not his fault.
Absolutely. And so at the end of the day, it all rises and falls on leadership, regardless of who's thrown up on the sidelines or not. If you're not bringing home the
He
chip,
he
you're
got he
dropping them.
got to Kansas City, and the ingredients were much better than they were in Philly,
John
and the
Harbaugh,
success shows it.
perfect example. John Harbaugh. He's no longer the coach of the Ravens. I mean, great coach,
Yep.
sought after guy. No longer the coach. Again, it's championships that they care about. Yeah, could the Eagles
Well,
fan base be better and not throw full Coke cans at other players? Sure, absolutely. Can Bills fans not jump on tables and destroy parking lots?
Hey,
Absolutely.
hey, hey,
But
no mafia
I
bad
mean,
mouthing over
the
here.
tables in the parking lot. I mean, that's not a human being. That's not a human life. You know what I'm
That's
saying? It's
I
like
mean,
tailgating.
you definitely can get
throwing a frozen Coke on the ground isn't gonna do anything. Throwing it
bro.
at a person or somebody carrying their child, that could be a double homicide, bro.
Yeah, there's levels to this, Josh. And, and
right.
and as far as rancidness, the Eagles are number one. But I'll give you that. The Bills are probably a close number two or three. But
Without question.
congrats
Thank you.
on the Philadelphia Eagles firing offensive coordinator
Thank you.
Kevin Patullo.
Thank you. Maybe
Thoughts? I'll
that's
give you the floor, Josh.
okay. I'll take it right here. The reason they fired him is because the fans were throwing frozen Coke bottles, and they had to get rid of him because that's what they were begging for. So we got what we wanted, and by all means, do what we got to do to get it done.
All right. And Lil Wayne was in the news, by the way, for his
The
for
reason
being a rabid Packers fan immediately after the Green Bay Packers fell to the Caleb Williams led Chicago Bears. He was there like bashing the Packers for losing to a man with painted purple fingernails. And so, like, you can't make this up. But he then later apologized and said, "I'm sorry, Caleb. You got some crazy game, and I'm just passionate, and one of those kind of backtracks." But
So
man,
let me
Weezy,
get
stand
this
10 toes down, bro. Stand 10 toes down.
let me get this straight.
say with your
So
chest.
Lil Wayne had the audacity to talk about a guy painting his nails
When he kissed another guy.
when I wasn't even I wasn't
Facts,
gonna go there. I was gonna leave that
facts.
for a second
Sorry,
there.
this is a kids
Time out.
program.
Did he kiss another guy or did another guy kiss him?
He said
It
it in his
doesn't
song, "I
even
kiss my
matter.
daddy."
Hey,
He said
It
it in his
doesn't
song,
matter.
"I kiss my daddy."
yeah, that
This
don't matter, bro.
guy has tattoos all over his face, and he looks like somebody broke a bag of flour over his head. He's so dusty. I don't understand Lil Wayne getting involved in this and picking on this kid, man. Listen. I think we can all agree. Let's touch on the Caleb Williams thing real quick, okay? Now, I was on Caleb Williams when he was at USC, climbed up in the stands after the game, fetal position, crying in his mama's arms. She's rocking him like she's trying to put him to sleep. It was embarrassing. And his dad standing there looking over her shoulder, watching the whole thing go down. Whatever. All right, we're gonna leave that in the past, right? The fingernail thing. We can all agree that we live in a different time, man, when it comes to like fashion. Dudes are carrying purses. We got LeBron. I think LeBron has his own purse line, allegedly, and he's supposed to be the goat, by the way, for carrying a purse.
MJ would never.
Quick story for you. Back in the day, I won't forget it. It was 1988. I was 17 years old, getting ready to turn 18. I lost my mind and I went and got my ears pierced. Not
I knew
one,
that was going
but
to
both of them.
be
I was a
both of
huge Dr. Dre fan, and Dre was on the cover of Rolling Stone. He had a 44 Desert Eagle pointed at his head, and on the cover, and he had two hoop earrings, and that was the thing. It was a West Coast thing, and it looked cool. So I lost my mind, and I went and I got my ears pierced, and I tried to hide it as long as I could from my pops. And he bought me a dress for Christmas. I opened up a box. I thought it was my mom's, and he was like, "Nah, that's for you to go with your new earrings." So we all do things when we're young, man, trying to be fashionable and whatever, and it doesn't make sense to the group that came before us. So far be it for me to criticize. You know, I've been on Caleb Williams for other things, but far be it for me to criticize this young man about his fashion choices and all of this stuff. When I was younger, I did crazy stuff like that, and I still got both of my ears pierced. You know what I'm saying? It's like I think we gotta. I think in that situation, man, we kind of gotta. Me personally, I'm not gonna beat that kid up about that. Now Dwayne Wade doing that, that's a whole different story.
I was about
That's
to
a,
say,
that's
I
an
bro,
interesting
Caleb,
story
Caleb
there.
Williams is like the Carl Anthony Towns of the NFL, man. He be doing some suspect type stuff, man.
Very.
That
A little
that that
sus.
that that that, that thing with the cheese grater he was doing after the game, man, where he was like grating the
listen, man.
cheese and shaking his head with his tongue. I'm like, bruh, you're not beating these allegations, my dude.
I said my
Who
Stop.
part
doesn't
from
want
the.
to?
I said my part from the old man perspective. I'm gonna let y'all youngins have it, man. Go ahead, you have
I
at it.
mean, you. All right, I'm gonna stop.
Yeah, leave that one alone. Let's go to the next.
I'm gonna
FIF.
stop.
Fifth.
Before
I
we
plead
leave,
the
before we get off of
fifth.
the NFL though, what's up with AJ Brown? What's going on with AJ Brown, Josh?
Let's talk about it. I, I have a love hate relationship with AJ. After that last game, he what he reminded me of was CD Lamb in 99% of his games this year. Butterfingers and could not hold on to the ball. Um, so I just say that to say this. I don't know what's going on with AJ. I'm not certain where his future stands with the Eagles organization. I think 90% of it is going to be in his hands. It's going to be a decision that
You gonna
he's going
drop
to
me
make,
too?
and he might fumble that as well. Uh, and so I'm hoping not. I'm hoping for AJ to come back, especially seeing that Kevin Patullo um, is now gone, and there is hopes of fresh eyes in the OC position. And I think that was probably the biggest pain for AJ Brown this year is the way that the offense looked. And let me just say for this: if anyone is contemplating, oh, was it really the offensive coordinator, or was it Jalen Hurts really shining, or was it the Eagles just falling off of a glory year? Look at the very last play the Eagles had against the San Francisco 49ers.
I was just gonna mention that.
30 yards out for the game with 20 some seconds on the clock. You have timeouts, and I think they had one timeout left, and it's fourth down. And what do? They run
Throw
four
in the
go
triple cover.
routes. Four go routes. It's the Niners defense. Shanahan is behind the scenes here looking and licking his chops. Like what there was no flair, there was no like anything. Like at the very least throw it to the first down marker. Like what are
Yeah.
we doing? What are we
Yeah,
doing?
I was just gonna say that, Josh. Like I was yelling at the screen on that last play because I thought they should have ran AJ. I mean, you got AJ lined up at the far end of the screen, one coverage, and Jalen Hurts' choice is to throw it to triple coverage tight
Triple,
end
baby. Triple.
when you got two-star Pro Bowl receivers on the corners, and all you do is just send them out on a decoy.
Yep.
Like,
Oh, epitome of
Mid
the Eagle
sentence this
season.
time. Dang.
you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're
So,
back.
anyways, yeah, it's happening again. But I just thought it was ridiculous, and so like just based on that last play alone, I thought he should have lost his job. It's like, bro, the game's on the line, and that's what you call, bro? Like,
On. Bye.
gone.
Yo,
All right, before we
I know
leave,
y'all guys trying to move on, but Josh was talking about late game management. I was feeling the same way watching the Panthers. They needed a field goal. They had 38 seconds and all three timeouts, and it seemed like Bryce Young was just out there trying to go for it all. Like, take chunks, give your kicker a chance. I don't know. I don't know if you guys paid attention to that game. That's probably like the only game I watched this weekend.
Yeah, I we had company over. I couldn't watch it fully, but I hear what you're saying. I think because of like the leaps and bounds that Bryce Young made this year, and the coaching staff is trying to like reiterate and reinstill that they have full faith in him. I understand, like, right? It's one thing to have faith in your player and your star QB. It's another thing to do the right thing so that you guys win and stay alive in the playoffs. Um,
I'm not saying they should like just taking the ball out of his hand. Just better play calling.
yeah,
Like work the sidelines. You could work the middle of the field. You got all three timeouts.
yeah,
And the way kickers are kicking the ball this year, I mean, you get to the 40, the 35, 40 yard line, give your kicker a chance. I mean, you got faith in this quarterback, give him more time to shine, get it to overtime. See if you can actually be one of those losing teams to win the division and make the playoffs and go on to the next round like we've seen in the past. I mean,
yeah.
before that game, I think there were the losing teams were what 3-1 in the first round of playoffs after making it up with a loser record. So I
Hmm.
mean, I'm not saying if you believe in them, then trust them to do the right thing. Don't just drop back and go for it all. Like just
Yeah,
matriculate the ball down the field, use your timeouts, and see what your kicker can do. I thought they wasted a good opportunity there.
no
All
doubt.
right, well, let's stay on that since the Rams ended up beating the Panthers. Let's give our picks for this week before we move on. Zeke, I'll start with you. Rams, Bears. Who you got?
Uh, Rams.
Rams, Dave.
Rams.
Josh.
I have a long pause here because I honestly think that the Bears are going to take it.
Okay, so Bears. I'm going to go Rams as well. Seahawks, 49ers. Let's close out the NFC. Zeke.
Seahawks.
Seahawks. All right, go ahead, Dave. Who you got? Seahawks, 49ers.
I don't know. I don't trust Sam Darnold. I'm going with the 49ers.
All right, Josh.
Kittle is bye bye. It's Seahawks all day.
Yeah, but did you see Jennings? Jennings is a madman.
Jennings could be a madman all he wants, but he's if he's going to get the target share, guess what they're going to do? They're going to cover him.
Yeah, I
All
think you
right,
also
so
bet against Superman last week too. So
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be. I'm not listening to you, Josh.
All right, no problem.
crazy as this sounds, bro, we're going to have a split on this one because I am also going on the 49ers on this. Um, Injuries have not mattered to the 49ers all season, and I'm done picking against them. I also do not believe in Darnold enough to pick the Seahawks only because I rarely see him come through in the crunch, and so I'm gonna get ahead and ride on that 49ers bandwagon. But I do think eventually the Rams they're my pick for the Super Bowl. Let's go to the AFC. Let's start with the Texans and the Patriots. Let's start with you, Josh.
Woo! I'm going with the Patriots.
Patriots. Dave.
Yeah, man, the Pats.
Zeke.
Yeah, as much as it hurts, I'm going with the Pats also.
Um, this is tough because that defense is legit, legit.
On both
Yeah,
sides.
Um,
it's negated by their
uh,
offense.
On both
it,
sides.
it is, it is, it is. I I think that defense is just going to be suffocating. And I think defense wins championships. And they didn't even need C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud just plays at least a little bit better, and Texans become a juggernaut. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go ahead and go with the Texans on that. Broncos Bills. Josh,
Broncos.
Dave,
Oh man, I hate to do it, man, but the Broncos.
Zeke.
I love to do it. Broncos.
I'm gonna be the contrarian again. I am not going against Super Duper Man, man. That Superman, he puts on the cape, it's a wrap. I don't care. Anyone can get it. Um, I don't know if he's gonna do it next week, but I'm gonna get him. And I'm gonna trust, man. I'm gonna trust. Hopefully he can get over the hump because I'd like to see it.
Did you
Superman
guys
for the dub.
I don't want to let's not drag this out, but did you guys see that post? Somebody put something up. It went viral on social media in a couple spaces. Somebody took a picture of their vantage point from outside the Broncos stadium, and it just has the scoreboard just peeking over the stands, and it said Broncos 19, Bills 3, and it showed the clock, and they time stamped the picture.
Mm.
AI.
I wish I could
They're
find.
trying to predict that for next week or something.
I don't know. They're just saying the script was leaked, right? That's what they're saying. But
That's
like,
weird.
yeah,
Mm.
That's I don't know,
Now, of
man.
course, if it happens, everybody's gonna lose their mind.
What was the score again?
19
19-3.
Broncos, 3 Bills.
What was it like? Third quarter with 2:58 left or something.
I
I don't know.
can't. I
Could
gotta.
be something else. Well, guys, you heard it here
Yeah.
first. Those betters out there, right? Sheesh. Um. Okay, so
Goodness.
uh, let's get ahead and jump into the next topic. We spent plenty of time on the NFL, but we had some good fun. Let's jump into the MLB. Does MLB need a free agency signing deadline that is as strict as the current luxury tax that is in place? And so, Dave, why don't you elaborate on what on the gist of your contention here?
Okay, so we spend most of the MLB offseason waiting for the dominoes to fall. Okay, we watched Scott Boras basically pimp every owner in the game by holding them hostage with his free agents and guys that are looking to opt out and whatnot. And what's happening is we have a thing in MLB called the luxury tax, where if you spend too much money, you go over the threshold, you get fined. That's basically what it is. They take that money and they spread it across all of the small market teams. Small market teams then take that money and they sit on it for years and aren't forced to spend it. So they should be the players in free agency that are out there spending that money that they're getting from the luxury tax. Teams like my Yankees that need players should be out there signing players and not sitting back and waiting until a week before pitchers and catchers report, and which is usually the day after Valentine's Day in February, before they start making moves. It's an extremely boring off season in baseball, and this plays out every year. Every year, it's the Scott Boras show, and it's the Scott Boras John Heyman show because John Heyman is out there spending it for Scott Boras and all of his clients by putting out information. It's the talks are getting hot here and here. He's obviously getting fed information from Boras to do this stuff allegedly. Baseball need standards, man. They need a deadline for free agent signings. They need a deadline for or a hard stop on a number of years where small market teams that are getting this money have to spend that money and they have to spend X amount of it. That's what I feel. I just feel like there needs to be a rule in place where if they're getting the money, it has to be spent on free agents by a certain amount of time, and they have to spend a major percentage of that money that they're getting on free agents instead of sitting on it and lining their own pockets with it. And then the teams that are out there that know they need to make moves, there needs to be traction. Teams need to be out there making moves. And if moves aren't made by a certain date, there needs to be some kind of penalty for that. That's just my take on it.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Because it's extremely boring. What has been exciting about this MLB offseason? Where's the big signing?
I mean, it's the off season. How much excitement are you looking for?
Well, I mean, we had that coveted players coming out of Japan, right? We had those guys looking to right. So we got
Even
Kyle
that was
Tucker.
overblown. Like they that one guy that ended up, well, what's his name? Munataki, I think is his name. That ended up signing in Chicago. They
Yeah,
were talking about some big six-figure deal for him. He got 2 years and
he
$34 million.
did, Zeke. But what I'm saying is there's no fanfare. It's boring, man. It's like Why do they think other teams are kicking their butt in popularity, man? It's boring. We could say a lot about Adam Silver and the dumb stuff that they're doing with the NBA All Star game, but at least they're trying. Rob Manfred's his idea of getting more fans to watch the game is shortening the game, making the bases the size of pizza boxes, right? Right. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing.
I don't mind. Listen, the whole shortening the game thing, I think that's overblown. Like, I'm not getting less baseball.
No, I get that, but
It's still 27 outs. It's still 9 innings. Like,
my point is this though: there's no excitement to even college football has more exciting signings than the pros than MLB. They got a high school signing day where the kids are all in the gym. They got the tables lined up and stuff. It's fanfare, man. There's no fanfare, man. There's no fanfare with MLB. It's just a old fuddy duddy process, and it's just boring. Every year, it's the same thing. They tout the winter meetings. Oh, the winter meetings are started, and the winter meetings came and they went. Nobody signed during the winter meetings, man. It's so boring. And I remember when it wasn't like that. I remember when, cats would sign and then they would swing by the table and they would do their rounds at the media tables and stuff. They would stop at the radio only tables and talk with people and about how excited they were to be going to their new teams. There's none of that now. It's just boring. It's absolutely boring. It's
Oh,
just
off season has been
yeah,
great if you're
I
Baltimore
think
Orioles, but
I think baseball's got bigger issues than a boring offseason. I mean, the thing is, you say the NBA is trying. Look, they got to start somewhere. They've tried to find ways to bring back stolen base. They've tried to find ways to get. I mean, one of the biggest gripes about baseball was it's too long. You're sitting there for 3, 4 hours. You're sitting there watching a pitcher throw over to first base 8 times, knowing that the runner ain't going nowhere. You got 15 pitching changes. They've made strides in the changing that, and I mean they haven't lost viewership. And I've looked at I haven't looked at the numbers, but I'd be surprised they haven't gained some. I mean, it might suck for some of the old school guys who you said you weren't going to be get off my lawn, old guy about Caleb Williams, but here you are stumping for old traditional baseball type stuff.
well.
So
Here's the
I,
thing: the viewership has gone up, and we know why. It's because of one person. It's not because of the game. It's because of Shohei Ohtani. We
the
know that.
product
okay,
is definitely better though, bro. Like I like seeing I actually like the pitch clock because I was not a fan of after every single pitch. A guy takes his gloves off, puts his gloves back on,
yeah,
readjusts his
no Bob
batting
Garcia
gloves,
power.
taps the plate a couple times. It's like no one wants to see that, bro. Get up there and get ready to take the next pitch. And so
But
the
see, that's where
product I think is
you're missing
definitively
the point
better.
because that's the kind of stuff they used to tick Randy Johnson off, and then what happens? Then you get Randy Johnson throwing at somebody's chin, and then somebody's
Yeah, that's
ticked.
what we want. We want 98 miles an hour at somebody's dome. Come on, man.
Nah, I
Bro,
want
you
I
want to
want
turn
I want
baseball into
somebody
hockey?
mad in the batter's box and jawing at him, saying, "Man, why you throwing at me?" And then the next thing you know, they're
That's
going,
another waste of time. We don't
Oh,
need
"Ah, man, it's
Nolan
beautiful."
Ryan. We don't need
you may
Nolan
want to
Ryan
Pete
putting Robert
Alonso for
Ventura in the
suggesting that
headlock
though.
anymore, man. Just play ball.
Baseball brawls are not a waste of time, bro.
Baseball
Bro,
brawls are
they
trash.
are definitely waste of time. Nothing
Bruh,
ever happens.
everybody runs out of the dugout. Everybody runs out of the
That's not a
bullpen,
brawl.
and they're
That's a
like, "Hold me
game.
back, hold
I'm
me
talking
back."
about a brawl.
Every
I'm
now
talking about
every
a
now and
Daryl
then you get
Strawberry
somebody throwing some punches, but for the most part,
from
they
Texas, man.
jockeying,
But
holding
you
hold
could
on.
count on your hand the times where you got some real punches. You had the Tim Anderson, you had the Jose Batista.
Right.
But other than that, recently, I mean, how much do you really get from these people storming the field? Not a whole lot.
If
And
there
ever
were
since we lost
Because the game
legend
is
of
off.
on-field theatrics,
The game's
former
soft, man.
Seattle Mariners coach Luke, was it Luke Pinella, right?
Yeah,
Uh, Bro was legendary. We lost him as a coach. He didn't get those kind of theatrics anymore, man. It's all garbage,
if
man.
there was
I
more
want
fights in baseball, I'd watch more of it.
Bro,
well,
the
that's
game
that's
has
what
just
Pete
gotten
Alonso was
soft, man.
advocating for during last year's All Star break. He was thinking they should have like, hey, let's take the gloves off and let's duke it.
Yeah,
And I
the
believe
game
it was
just gotten
Dave that
soft.
said
Is
that
what
was
it is.
a garbage tape. And now sounds like you're advocating for that.
The game has gotten
So
soft.
can I?
Listen,
Can I?
man. Look,
My
we got
goodness.
pizza box bases. We got
The game
nets
has
around
gotten
the first. Hold
soft.
on. We got
It's
nets around first.
baseball.
We got nets at first and second, first and third baseline. Fans aren't catching foul balls to the forehead anymore. Bats aren't flying into the stands. What are we
Seriously,
doing?
bro.
Dave, you
We
said the
clipping
game has
this.
gotten soft like George
We
Carlin
clipping
did a
this.
whole skit about how soft
We
baseball was, and
clipping
he been
this,
dead for
bro.
years. Like the game hasn't gotten soft.
Where's the brutality in baseball, man? Where has it gone?
Bro,
Let's bring
Where,
back
Dave wants
what are
steroids.
we
finishing
Let's
moves.
bring
doing?
back
He
the
want
steroids. Let's get some roid rage going on.
he
Okay.
wants the big
Can I?
screen in the back to say finish him.
Can I?
Like someone come out, whoopsie.
Let me offer a non-biased take here, because baseball is one of those sports that I'm going to continually learn on, especially after talking with you guys. So let me ask a question because I'm reading through a couple different threads here, and a lot of the players are obviously disagreeing with a free agency deadline because
Of
what it
course,
what's that?
of course they are.
Because what it does is it takes away their um, basically it takes
Leverage.
away their negotiating leverage off the table because now they get to a deadline and they feel forced to sign a contract that may not be the perfect contract in their eyes for themselves and or risk not playing that year, which they don't want to do as well.
In which
So
they won't do anyway. They're not going to do that. They're not going to miss the money. But basically, what they're afraid of, and what they won't admit to, is that like they're waiting. Like Cody Bellinger is waiting for the Kyle Tucker domino to fall. They're waiting for each other. It's a jousting game, man. You
mhm.
know,
I
or
think
Absolutely.
better
Cody
yet,
should
it's a
sign
game of
first.
chicken.
I think
It's just a
Cody is
game of
shooting
chicken.
himself in the foot.
But
Cody
still,
Nah,
that's
Bellinger needs to sign before Tucker. Like
but
Why?
I
that's
don't.
still pro player, right? That's still pro
He's
player.
gonna lose his the options of the teams that he got. Cody Bellinger is a more versatile player. He should be taking control of his market. I think. I think he should sign.
I'm
Tucker's
pretty
probably a
sure
better
wherever Kyle
player.
Tucker signs, it's not going to affect Cody Bellinger that much. He's still going to land in a. I mean, they're talking Yankees, they're talking Dodgers, they're talking Cubs. I've even heard rumblings from the Mets. I mean, he's not going to lose if Kyle Tucker signs somewhere. All right, I got three other landing spots that I'll be just fine at.
Help me understand why are you guys saying this? Like, what do you mean by that?
it's
I
about
think I
his.
think
It's
what Dave
about
is trying to say
versatility and value.
he wants MLB to be kind of more like the NFL where they try to win the off season. And like almost every other week you have some kind of NFL in the news because they have X, Y, and Z happening.
But
And
there's no free agency deadline though. There's a trade deadline, but there's no free agency deadline in NFL.
well, there's not a
No,
whole lot
there's
of free
not. But
agency
they're up
moves.
against the
Like
clock,
in
and they're up against the clock in the NFL because of the draft, because of how quick the draft happens, right? And um, and how many free agents will be available before they start mini camps, mandatory camps, all of that stuff. Like the wind up for the NFL season right after the draft is so quick. You know what I'm saying? It's like you get cats out of the draft and then you try to you get them into camp, and then there's voluntary, there's involuntary, there's all kind of stuff moving. There's so many moving parts with the NFL that there isn't with the
Yeah,
with
the playbook is more extensive, I would say too, right? Like, I mean, I don't. I
what's
guess
that?
I don't know. Like their playbook is more extensive, so it's going to take like players a little bit more time to digest offensive, defensive plays from an NFL perspective than it would be from an MLB perspective, right?
Absolutely,
All right,
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
that's where I would say like I'm hearing you guys and I'm understanding that, but I was more so like asking you why between those two players you were just comparing Bellinger and who was it?
Kyle Tucker. So they're
Tucker.
Tucker.
like
Why?
Kyle Tucker is seen as like if not one of if not the top one of the top free agents.
Okay.
But Kyle Tucker plays right field. Kyle Tucker's been a right fielder. He's going to be a right fielder. Cody Bellinger plays all three outfield positions, and he's a first baseman.
Right,
Okay.
and
So
he can play first.
his versatility should afford him more options. Like, all right, you guys don't need a right fielder, you need a center fielder. I can be a gold glove center fielder. Be
Yeah.
a left fielder. I can be a Gold Glove left fielder. I can be a Gold Glove first baseman. So he's
Hmm.
got more options. So that's why I'm like, I don't think it really matters that much where Tucker goes because Cody's got more options.
Right. And that's now I'm understanding why you guys were saying what you were saying before.
All right, fellas. Hey, let's bring up the third and final topic here before we get into the roundup. And it happened today. Football. FBS head coaches voted unanimously to recommend increasing the red shirt limit from 4 to 9 games. And so, specifically, we're talking about college football. Red shirt for the uninitiated essentially is where they can not count a season against their college eligibility. And
Correct.
so if they only played 4 games in the past, or if they played 4 games in the past, and that season would count towards a season against their college eligibility, whereas now that's raised to 9 games. Bro, before we go on, how many games are in a college football
Like
season now? I
like
think about it.
12.
Yeah,
It's like
it's
12 games in a regular season.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Wow.
You can play darn near the whole season and be like,
You play three
JK,
quarters of them.
you're a freshman. You're a freshman next year again. That's dumb.
Yeah.
they're essentially trying to like stop midseason opt-outs.
You think so?
How?
Yeah.
How
How
would
does
that
that?
help?
By well, again, reading. Uh it keeps players engaged and reduce midseason opt-outs, addressing issues with previous rule that incentivized players to sit out after a few games to preserve eligibility, especially with the transfer portal in NIL.
Yeah. So I think that, to be real with you, I don't think this has anything to do with playing football. I think it has to do with grabbing an extra year of NIL money. I think it has to do. You got anybody ever go to community college? You ever see that? You ever see that guy that's like the career student that's been going to community college for like 19 years, and the state continues to the state continues to give them financial aid, and it's like you went to school there, and then one day you go to drop your freshman kid off there, and that person is still going to school there. That's
Through a
basically
different
what
mindset.
that's basically what NIL is, man. These players are trying to find a way to extend their NIL, their college stay, and their NIL bank.
Doesn't that
Because
hurt their chances at more money with the professional league?
not if they're not
Oh, real
good.
talk. A lot of multiple college players this past season made more money than Shador Sanders playing
Yeah.
football.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
You know
potential is what I'm saying. Like, yeah,
what?
it may be your first year that you're not going to make as much, but your fifth year option might be substantially more.
Most NFL players don't make it that far.
What?
Most
Yes.
NFL players don't make it 5 years in the NFL. The average NFL player, I think, is out after what is it? Is he
Yeah,
three?
the
3
average the
years.
average career is like 3 years, bro.
Yeah, average career is about 3 years, bro.
Don't look at everybody you seeing on TV. There's plenty of people on the sidelines that you've never seen play a game, and they never stepped on the field.
Practice squad.
They were just names on the roster.
Yep.
And that's a 3-year career. They out.
Yeah, but again,
And
so
it's
then
considered career.
okay, but so then can you say the same thing for NIL? It's not like every college player is making $1.7 million on an NIL deal, right? What's the average NIL deal?
They're not. But here's the thing. Wh- Who's gonna care about a fifth, a fourth or fifth string quarterback asking to redshirt? They're gonna be like, nah, bro, we don't need you. You gotta,
Yeah,
you're
you
not
can eat
taking
up a
up
roster
another. You're
spot.
not gonna take up another roster spot. Denied. You know what I'm saying? But then you got look at the cat that's at Colorado right now. He played this year, and then Dion came out and said, "Yeah, we're gonna redshirt him," and he played.
I hear you.
And
So
he's getting nice NIL too.
right, but if you're making that kind of money, NIL money, right, that means that you are a top prospect, and your likelihood of having a long career, knock on wood, minus injuries or potential poor placement, with a team or whatever it may be. If you're making that kind of money NIL, you're likely going to be making that money plus more NFL.
So let me
The
put it to you
Here's the
like
thing,
this:
Josh.
Shador
Uh,
Sanders made $7 million in the NIL money,
right.
and he's making fifth round pick money now.
Yeah, but that's not going to stay that way forever. We know that. We
Well,
know
Yeah,
what
especially
but
with
it's that
quarterbacks,
way
we get you.
now,
we
But
though.
know what
think
he's
of it
going to
like
do.
this.
We're
I'll give you an antidote. So Matt Leinart was recently in the news because he had a
Beating
podcast where
somebody up.
no, no. It was just a comment that he said. He was talking about like how even the great USC teams that he led, the ones famously with Reggie Bush, that they were a juggernaut in college football. He said that that team would lose to the worst NFL team, and he just said, like, bro, we were great for college. We're going against men. And
Hmm.
so I think that's the part that you're missing. If I can get a couple extra years, I'm going from a boy to a man, and now I'm playing against kids, right? The chances of me being able to dominate grow in the college game. Whereas once I get to that bigger pond, now I'm a little fish in a big pond.
Right.
Whereas in the college game, I'm a big fish in the little pond. You see what I'm saying? And so as they get older, they're going to have a better opportunity of racking up those stats, getting those big hits, getting the big NIL money that they may just have to walk away from their career. For example, player in the playoffs this year. I picked him up last year. Because he was a rookie running back coming into the league, and he had promise. His name, Kamani Vidal. Kamani Vidal picked him up last year in fantasy football. This year, and he was a bum that last year, so I dropped him. This year, I picked him up because Amari Hampton got injured. I forget. Najee Harris got injured, and then they had to bring a player off the practice squad because both of their players got injured. Who was that player? Kamani Vidal, the guy who they drafted with a decently high pick, if I recall, the year before, and all of a sudden he was forgotten until everybody and their mama started getting injured on that Chargers team, and then he played a decent role, and everybody was there like, "Oh, he's pretty good. He played decent." But that's the more common story for these draft picks that come to the NFL. It's not like, hey, they just take the league by storm. That's not typically the case.
Yeah, but most starters, unless you're like a first round draft pick, most NFL starters or rookies coming in the league, they're gonna sit the bench for a good portion, right? Because again, you just named two names, Mario Hampton, and Najee Harris, who came off of a stud year with the Steelers the year before that, right? And so of course you're gonna sit behind a veteran player like Najee Harris. And of
Not just
course,
sit behind practice squad, not on the roster.
yes, but that's
Didn't
the
get an NFL job,
he did get an NFL job. He didn't get a starting job.
bro. Practice squad. He's not on the NFL roster. He could have
Under
signed with any other team.
understood. But again, I guess what we're talking about here is this red shirting and extending that from 4 to 9, right? And the argument that I read and presented was that what it's doing is it's helping with that whole name, image, and likeness uh, uh, discussion. It aims to keep players engaged and reduce midseason opt-outs. They're not focusing more on people trying to extend their college careers and make more money. They're trying to keep them from opting out mid-season and hurting their potential at a championship or their potential at a bowl game and making runs.
Honestly, if a player is thinking about leaving that school, they weren't contributing much to the season.
for
So
sure.
them leaving isn't going
Absolutely.
to hurt the bowl game chances.
But now, if you have a rule like a red shirt, it may give them a reason to do it because now it's going to interfere with their money.
I mean, but if you make it not 8 games into the season and you want to just make sure you don't play 9, like I don't get you, but we're
It's not
gonna.
me. I'm just saying. This is what I read. I read this. It's not my take.
All right,
The whole thing
all
is
right,
just bananas, man. If you really look at it,
Yeah,
the
it's
whole
crazy.
thing is bananas. It's like a coach, a coaching staff can decide they can let a guy play for 75% of the games and then decide, all right, we're gonna redshirt him till next year. And it's just crazy. I don't there's no other reason for it except for financial,
right,
or you know what I'm saying? Look, I mean, what other reason? Like, what other reason?
all
Other
right.
than
Well,
they're trying to free up a scholarship space, but even then, the guy's committed already. He's
Mhm.
already he's on scholarship. He's just not playing football. It's a money game, man. They're trying. It's gonna come out somewhere at some point why this became so popular so quick, but it's not passing the smell test right now.
let's jump into the weekly roundup. Unless you want to do it happening today
Yeah,
first.
let's
Oh,
do
looks
it
like you
happen
do.
today
Go ahead,
first.
Z.
Ted Turner, back in 1976, became the CEO of the Atlanta Braves. He would have Centennial Olympic Stadium named after him by a city committee. The most popular name choice among the Atlanta residents was the Hank Aaron Stadium, in honor of the home run king. Yeah, maybe Hank Aaron Field at Ted Turner Stadium. I don't know. That's what they did with Ricky in Oakland, right? They gave him a
Yep.
No doubt.
field, but the
What you feel
stadium
about that, man?
they're not gonna name it the Hank Aaron Stadium. That's okay. In
You
my
don't think they
opinion,
should have named the Hank Aaron Stadium?
no, no. Hank Aaron. I would rather have. Honestly, I
Read the
mean
next
Hank
thing,
Aaron
man. You
Field.
lost me.
It's like
Read the
it's
next
like
thing,
it's
man.
like
I'm
even with
done.
like Coach K. Coach K, you get the court. Like the stadium is the stadium, but the court. Like give me the court. Give me the logo on the court. It don't need to be Hank Aaron Stadium. Hank Aaron Field would have been dope.
All right, next one, Z.
Read the next thing, man. You lost me, man. How you
Why
gonna
does he
dis?
have to have the stadium name? Why? I mean, Hank Aaron Field. That would have been dope. Give him a wall like they did with Clemente. Give him the right field wall. You don't have to have the whole stadium name. Did he buy the stadium? Nah, that's my stadium. You want the field? Cool. It's my stadium. Anywho, back in '85, which wasn't that long
Look at
ago.
Ted Turner. Look at this face. What did that dude do except give us cable TV, bro? How
Bro,
many
Listen,
we still
time
got
out,
the
championships
time out,
roundup.
time
Come
out,
on,
has this
man.
dude
time out,
spun?
Pretty
time
big
out,
deal.
time out. Ted Turner gave us WCW.
All right, I'll allow
In
it.
1985, Martina Navratilova is the third
See,
You are
player to
such a
win.
hater.
over us, man.
Like, let's
Chris was
keep
like, I don't know
moving.
what y'all talking about. I don't care. Win. Ted Turner, I hate Ted Turner. He was a part of the Braves. Win.
This is good.
Third player to win 100 tennis tournaments after Jimmy Connors and Chris Evert. All right, let's jump into
Hey,
How
you
much
get
the
the
back
Mets
weekly
suck.
roundup.
to him again?
All right, so in the weekly roundup, we got first up, Grizzlies
Ooh.
listening to trade offers for John Morant.
Here,
Speculation is running wild and deep. I know a lot of people are, throwing out. I heard one person saying that he might go to the Knicks, might
No,
go to the Heat,
no.
he might go to. I heard some people shouting out the Lakers, send him to the Lakers. Um, a lot of people, like surprisingly to me, were giving up the whole farm for John Morant. I mean, you giving
so
up multiple first round picks and talented players from your roster for John Morant at this point?
let me just tell you where this is the trade tracker per um, the Bleacher. Right now, they're saying he has a 38% probability to go to the Kings, 29% to go to the Heat, 20% to go to Minnesota, 18% to the Suns, and 14% to Atlanta.
The Kings would be giving up DeMar DeRozan, is what I heard, and
That's
Miami you might as well
A
throw him straight
hero.
in jail. You think John Morant is going to survive the Miami lifestyle
You're
for anything more than a
Bro,
week?
you think he would survive Atlanta?
Yo, how about this? Check this
Bro,
out.
my man is going to get a straight to jail trade card. Like, don't pass go. Go
Did you
straight to jail if he goes to Miami.
did you
I'm telling
guys
you, that's
hear
not
that
where he needs to go,
he just bought a $2.8 million condo or mansion or whatever in Miami?
bro.
I ain't hear that.
Facts. Look it up.
He need to go to a
Bro,
blue state with some strict gun laws. That's where he need to go.
Nah,
bro, that's even worse. That's even worse because you know he ain't gonna follow him, Zeke.
exactly. He's trying to
He
go to
needs to go where
Florida.
he
He
can,
wants them
where
joint.
he can get caught, and they'd be like, "Well, you know, it's Texas or something like that." You know what I mean?
It's Texas.
I can hear his
You
agent
feel me, dog?
negotiating right now, man. I can hear his agent talking to potentials right now. So, do you guys allow hand grenades there?
That's right.
Not the hand
That's
grenades.
right.
How do you guys feel
Oh.
about bazookas?
What about RPGs? Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
But
my man is such a joke. All I will say is this: if Trey Young could get traded for a bag of potato chips, like is John Morant's got to be just like what, one chip cotton candy? Like what we talking about here? What we
I
really
think if
talking
you
about here?
trade for Ja Morant, you're hoping that a change of scenery will come with a change of mindset. Because I mean, the man is talented. There's no denying that.
yeah,
You just
these
gotta get
stats
somewhere
show
where
it.
somebody can help keep his head on straight. There's
These
nobody there in Memphis to keep him in line.
yeah.
There's nobody there. So you put him on a team. Listen, I know. I don't know. You find a team with some good, solid leadership, which I know is 2026 NBA, so there's few and far between. But like you get somewhere where he can find somebody to keep him in line and just focus on ball.
I'm gonna
He
tell
can be
you
a
this.
dangerous weapon. No pun
This,
intended.
and I think Josh will appreciate this. I think seriously, looking at the landscape of coaching right now, I think the only place that John Morant could have gone where he would have gotten that nurturing, and unfortunately he's not coaching anymore, is to the Spurs with Greg Popovich.
I was gonna say the Spurs, and then I remember Pop ain't there no more.
Yeah, I
I
think Pop would have taken him and said, "Listen,
mean,
man,
he's in the front office, right? He's
That's
there in some kind
right.
of capacity.
Don't forget. Just because Pop isn't on the floor on the sidelines does not mean that he's not running that organization the way that he wants it to or has in the past. He might actually have more of a voice now than he did as head coach.
so San Antonio could be a sleeper." Man, can you even imagine?
I don't think they can
That
do it
that'd be
because there won't
dangerous.
be. It
No,
won't. It's not sustainable. It's not
that would
sustainable.
be just incredibly moronic. They got a squad there. Let those very talented young players grow. They
Yes.
don't need a John Morant in
They
San
don't. They
Antonio. They
really
don't.
don't. But can you imagine?
Am I crazy
I
for
wish.
this take that I would
I would,
rather have on my squad Trey Young than John Morant?
yes, and that's just me
I
saying that
would
because I can't stand Trey Young. I've never been a fan of Trey Young.
At,
I would rather have Trey Young. And that's coming from a Knicks fan, and I can't stand Trey Young, but I
attitude
would rather
wise,
have him than John Morant.
yes.
Well, he's a better passer of the ball,
I
and they
don't.
both don't play defense.
You're
Did
not
John
gonna
Morant
bring
play
John
defense?
Morant in to be a point guard.
Mm, nah, we're talking.
You're not gonna bring John Morant in to be a point
Bro,
guard.
I'm
You
not
want him to
gonna
be that
front.
slasher.
I wanted the Knicks to get John Morant so bad, bro, but I'm glad we didn't. Out of
Yeah.
the draft, we didn't even come close.
All right. Well,
But,
let's keep it moving here.
yeah,
I'm sorry. What?
I was just gonna say, like these stats right here, just are good. The only reason I chose this instead of like some funny, it's just literally proving that John Morant, although he has a lot of issues that come, he brings a lot of baggage with his personality and some off of the court issues. This right here is literally
Boy can
proving
ball.
that he's worth the bag of peanuts, the cotton candy, the Kit Kats, the cookie dough bites, all of that. He's worth it all because of
Cookie dough
look at
bites.
those last 6 games, the stats
I mean,
compared to the All
talent
Star.
wise, he's worth it, bro. But when he's being a little pistol starter, that's a whole different story.
I
That's
get
what I'm
it.
saying. You gotta get him somewhere with some kind of
Unreliable.
leadership to help
You
keep him in line. Somewhere
you
where he
know
can
you,
have
you
somebody he respects.
but you want to know who I'm comparing him to in past? Allen Iverson.
No,
What
Nah.
do you mean no?
Nah,
Why not?
no.
Why not?
Did you
nah.
see like a lot of Allen Iverson's troubles was,
Off the
I think,
court.
overblown. But I mean, like, if you did you watch, like, I watched
He
his
took
like
his
special.
girlfriend
I
out of the
tend to
house.
believe Allen Iverson. Like in his special, he painted himself as like the victim of circumstance. It might have been, man. It might have been. I mean, the guy is not like something wrong with him like John Morant. It's just like, bro, like there's
The
something wrong
man
with
was
you, dude.
facing murder charges before he made the NBA. Like what? He's 100%. They're like they're
The
in my
man was at a bowling alley when a murder occurred. To be to be specific, if you watch his documentary, he wasn't the one that did it,
didn't say
and they went after the prosecutor went after him because they knew he was the big name. They knew he would be the draw. That would be the chance
under
for them to make a name out of themselves. That happened locally here. I live in Hampton Roads. He that happened. I know the bowling alley he went to. So it's like, bro, like no.
time and time again though, Allen Iverson had issues off the court and even with coaching staff, right? And that's all I'm saying.
What off
You
court
know
issues
what?
did he
Here's the
have other
difference
than?
between
I'm
Allen Iverson
I'm
and John Morant. Okay,
go ahead.
Allen Iverson, he had his thing going on with his crew. He had the attention. Once he put the cornrows in his head, that's when the attention started to come to baggy clothes and all of that stuff. He did the little freestyle mixtape or whatever.
Rap album, yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you something about Allen Iverson. When Allen Iverson came to the arena, he was about his business. When he
That's
hit that
exactly
floor,
it.
when he hit the floor, bad boy Allen Iverson waited outside. He didn't even come in
Yeah.
the arena. Allen Iverson was about his business when he hit the floor. He was the floor general. You can't say the same about John Morant. You
Which is the
cannot.
reason why we got that whole practice rant. Like, yo, you talking to me about practice when I give you my all for 48 minutes a night.
Right,
You talking to
right,
me about practice?
right.
You just gonna ignore what I'm doing on the court? You gonna ignore that I'm the biggest dog on that court, even though I'm like 6 feet tall? I'm the biggest one out there. I'm giving you my all. You gonna talk about practice?
Yep.
That's yeah. AI once he stepped on the court, man, that was it.
All bets
Yeah,
were
Ja,
off.
AI was a real one. I don't think anyone is confusing job with that. But man, we
Personality wise,
spent way
I'm
more
sorry.
time on this than we should. Let's jump into the next one because we still got, I'm sure, two more that we're going to want to get into a little bit. Um, QB Dante Moore opts out of entering the NFL draft. And to me, it was just ironic because I think it was last podcast we were talking about how Stephen A was blasting the New York Jets as like just a place where you should avoid at all costs, causing Garrett Wilson to chirp back at Stephen A. And now we see potentially the number two pick in the draft, Dante Moore, by many people's assessments, deciding to go back to school. And which is crazy because a lot of people think that the next year's draft class for quarterbacks may be a lot
tougher.
more loaded for him. He may be giving up a bag by dropping from the number two pick overall to essentially irrelevancy if you're at the back of the draft.
Easy. All money ain't good money, man. $50 million with the Jets
Facts.
might be worth passing up if you get like, I don't know, 20 million with the Steelers getting picked at number 26 overall. I don't know.
Bro, you know what? I absolutely 100% agree with that take.
He's like, yeah, I lost some money, but I kept my peace of mind and my sanity.
it,
So yeah,
to me,
whatever.
it's they're like, are you after that first bag or are you after the generational wealth that comes with the second bag when you play well and you can get that contract? And so,
Right.
like, he's after that second bag, which is smart if you could get there.
Now, granted,
Um,
you gotta pray for good health and all that good stuff, and teammates worth
Bro, he don't want
paying
that
with.
Geno Smith, Sam Darnold life. Sam Darnold is in the playoffs. He don't want that career trajectory. Sam Darnold went through a lot to get to where he is today
Right.
because he started with the New York Jets.
You don't want that
Right.
Sauce Gardner treatment.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep it moving. Anthony Davis gets second opinion on hand injury. Anthony Davis is brittle. I mean, we spent a lot of time on this, fellas.
No.
No,
Street
All
clothes
right,
attacks
he's
again.
buds. Let's go.
Yeah,
all
Street
right.
clothes.
let's just say though he went from supposedly needing surgery in his hand in 6 months time off the
Here's the
floor
thing.
to weeks.
I find it strange that it went from he's gonna miss months. Then I saw an article about them possibly trading him, and all of a sudden his hand is not that bad. He's gonna get traded, and then he's gonna be out, just like he was with Dallas. He played that first game, and he was injured in that first game. He's damaged goods, man, and it sucks because I don't dislike him. I actually like me. I appreciate the big man in basketball, and he was somewhat of a tweener. Like, yeah, he'll float outside and shoot the J, but he could do some damage in the paint too. And it sucks to see that he can't stay on the court.
All right. WNBA and Players Union have no contract agreement. Um, thoughts, Zeke?
Whoa! I didn't even suggest this topic. Why are you coming at me?
It's on there. I just assumed that you had thoughts and opinion on your
Well, you
second
all
favorite
know what they
sport
say
after
about what you
MLB.
assume.
Come on, Zeke! I can't wait to hear this.
I got nothing. I couldn't care less.
Bro, I
Bro,
sent
if we had a
notes,
special
man. I sent
analyst on
them
the
to you in
podcast when it
notes.
came to all things WNBA, it
No.
would be
No, no,
Zeke.
no, 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 no.
Let
I
let
don't pay
Dave
attention.
eat
I don't
here.
care about the WNBA all season like Dave cares about the MLB all season. I couldn't care less. Like, I don't care. I hope they
Zeke,
get a contract done, but
I
if they
thought you
don't,
were a real
world
fan.
keeps on spinning. What
I
happened?
thought you were a real fan, man.
I never said that.
What's going
I
on,
never
man?
said that.
I
Bro,
mean,
if the
You
WNBA
just assume you
season
just assumed that I
doesn't
wanted to
start,
include
bro,
a sport in a sports podcast that I was a fan. I was just trying. I mean, I thought we were supposed to be shining light on all sports, major and minor. That's why I'm like, hey, let's talk about them because we love women. But
bro,
yeah,
the WNBA season pass, you might not have to spend money on it next year. You know what I mean? The season ticket, you might not have to pick it up.
facts,
You
man.
might.
You could be able to, you could take that money and go get a large bag of chips and some French onion dip with that. Yeah?
No cookie dough bites though.
You can get you can get the family size of the wavy chips.
You ain't right for that. You ain't right for that.
y'all done.
Zeke is
Uh,
not happy right
Y'all
now.
Dave,
done.
you ain't right,
I'm
bro.
sorry, Zeke.
Wow,
Oh,
All right, let's do this real quick.
wow.
Let's stop clowning really quick because I want to show a little bit of respect to the ladies. All right, let's be serious right now. These ladies are fighting for their livelihood. Let's not front. All right, they want a piece of the pie. They're like, okay, the owners have the money. We want a piece of the pie. Josh, you have the notes up too. I can see you in them right now.
I do.
Yeah, I see. So anyway, uh, so the issue, there's a couple issues real here, and we'll just touch on them real quick because I want to give these ladies some shine. All right, what's at stake right now that they're like so far apart on right now is revenue sharing, what max salary would be, what minimum salary will be, and housing. They're actually asking for the league is proposing that the players pay for their own housing, which if they're making money, like pay for your own house. Why should that's neither here or there. So obviously they're apart on these things. Revenue sharing, the players want 70% of the net revenue. You the union proposal is 30%. It seems like I don't know if they're arguing for or against it. I have no idea. The whole thing is just wild to me because what I'm getting lost on is that they think that they should be making the millions that NBA players are making. And so I understand that they want to make more money, but asking for 1.7 million for the top stars as a base salary when the league is proposing 1 million, Like I just like it's $1 million. You know, you guys are. What didn't they say? Some weren't even making $100,000. So
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the reasons why they're so willing to potentially like just sit out this year because I think a lot of them just feel like they ain't missing out on much. You know,
yeah.
couple hundred grand. You know, I think they're spitting on that kind of money and just being like, listen, if we can't get rich off of this, let me just play overseas.
So, so just really quick, after the most recent deadline passed on January 9th, without a deal in place, the league has entered a status quo period, and all free agency business has been frozen. So there's no free agency, no teams can sign players or even make qualifying offers, no expansion draft. The planned drafts for the new Portland Fire and Toronto Temple franchises are on hold until a new CBA is ratified, till the CBA is ratified. And draft and season risks, if the deal isn't reached soon, the start of the 2026 season and the college draft could be delayed. So there's some real ramifications for this. I mean, real talk. I hope both sides can get what they want, man. I hope they can work something out. Because obviously the viewership has grown for WNBA over the last year. People are watching, and I don't know. Paige Beckers, I would love to see Paige Beckers out there. I don't know if Caitlin Clark is going to still be playing. She's hurt all the time now. When does Juju come out of college?
Juju's got to get that knee better.
Yeah.
She's still hurt, huh?
Yeah, that was a big knee injury. So she's probably out this year. She'll probably go the Page route and come back next year and win a chip and then get drafted.
So she's out for this entire season?
I believe so. If
Wow.
not the whole season, most of it.
Oh, okay.
'Cause
I think
that
the
injury
point is,
happened in the tournament, right? Yeah, I think that injury happened either in the tournament or right before the tournament.
Oh,
So
okay.
I think the point of any professional sport, when you have a lockout, you anger your fan base, and there's a price to pay for that, right? We've seen it happen where ratings go down a little bit. You know what I mean? When after a lockout, because you're getting people out of habits. If they're in a habit of around a certain time of the year, turning on the basketball game, turning on the baseball game, you know what I mean, turning on the football game, and all of a sudden there's just not of that. They develop different habits. They don't involve you no more. And so, like, finally they're building up a little momentum, and for them to risk it all, I think is foolish. But they would pin that, they would turn around and pin that on the ownership group as well, who've invested so much money to try to build it up to where it is today to just risk it. But they finally got a platform, man. I mean, if they're willing to risk it and throw it all away, then that's what they're willing to do, I guess.
Yeah.
In the chat, let's throw up a couple of these. Said, do you think that WNBA will accept trans athletes to make it more interesting, like competitive? Uh,
Let's leave that
I,
one alone, Birdo.
I didn't. Yeah, we threw that up before reading it. You trying to
I'm
get us
not
in
doing
trouble
it.
here?
I'm not doing it. Nope.
Wait a minute. I mean,
I'm not doing it. Dave,
Hey,
don't
when
do it.
LeBron retires,
Good question.
maybe he can go. He can go over.
Don't do
Or
it.
maybe just bring
Zeke,
Bronny
hold
James
on,
over there
Zeke.
right now.
Hold on, Zeke. But Zeke, I'm not gonna say nothing, man.
Mm-mm,
Look at Zeke.
mm-mm.
We'll leave that alone.
Okay.
We leaving that one alone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
All right.
absolutely.
See if he's
Thanks for
trying
your
to get us in
contribution,
trouble.
Berto. We appreciate you, but nah.
Yo,
Very
bro,
good question. We'll look into that.
Berto's trying to set us up, man.
he's trying to get us in trouble, bro.
He is, man.
Oh man, love you, big dog.
Good question.
Yeah. Well, I don't think we got anything else. And we went over anyway. But hey, we're having fun. If it's your first time joining us, make sure you like and subscribe. Hopefully, we'll get some of those clips. Definitely got to clip a couple of Dave Jones's takes today. Bruh, that baseball take, we clipping that, bro. We clipping that. But yeah, if you haven't checked us out on Facebook, we're on Facebook as well, as obviously on YouTube, depending on which platform you're checking us out on. Make sure you like and subscribe and stay tuned for more. We will be back here next week, Wednesday, same time, 9 p.m. And until then, thank you for joining us and peace.
Peace, everybody.
Deuces.